computer na lang. Yan, okay. Started na recording. Deploying containers. So anyone who has heard anything about server, no, normally they have heard siguro yung mga container. So these two chapters dedicated sa containerization. So what do you mean by containerization? So explain ko dito as we go on. No? So overview, Windows new features sa 2016 has many features. In one of these is Windows Hyper-V containers. No? So containers is a highly scalable and portable application isolation. So dito, portability is a great feature kasi you can, let's say, you have many application, you can link this one to multiple application isolation. No? So with this feature, it will allow you to easily move workload using a very small file footprint. Na-experience nyo yung Nano server, remember? We installed the Nano using image. And then we also managed to install the role using the bootstrap script. No? Yung script na yun, at the same time, natapos niya mag-create. No? So nandun na siya in one go, naging web server. Nilagyan lang natin ng index.html. Naging web server na siya. Try to imagine, gumawa kayo ng 100 Nano server. You can have 100 web server in one operating system. Makita niyo yung difference niya? No? So, multiple application in a single container. So dito, Windows Server containers which achieve isolation through namespace and process. So meaning one kernel, one process, one container. Hindi isang operating system. That means, sa Nano kasi, we have to pay for the Nano server, di ba? License. Dito, hindi na. It's only container. Kumbaga, function lang siya. No? So you're gonna be working with the kernel mode level. Hyper-V containers, which encapsulate each container in a lightweight VM. So, to give you good virtual presentation, so you can imagine kung ano ba itong Docker na to, Docker. So containerization is a process of app isolation. Okay, isolations. Ito kasi ang problema. Sa Hyper-V, di ba you have multiple VM? Meron kang server 1, server 2, server 3, server 4. Di ba? Okay. Kung gusto ko magkaroon ng web server, no? So let's say web server 1, American Express, hino-host natin. Pangalawang web server natin, yung HSBC, kliyente natin kung ari. So meron tayong web server, hino-host din natin. And then Westpac. Okay, bangko yan dito sa Australia. And then Commonwealth Bank of Australia. So hosted on each VM. Kaya nga tayo merong virtualization yan, no? So that means, babayaran ng customer natin yung lisensya nitong server 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, try to imagine kung one license is $1,000 kasi data center eh. Hindi lang siya basta standard, di ba? So, magkano yan? Magkano yan? Automatic, di ba? $4,000. Sabi, wait! $4,000, napakamahal masyado nito. Babayaran natin just for the licensing. So, they invented containerization. Sa container, you only need one VM. Then install mo Docker. Docker is a software originally created for Linux, no? For app isolation. So dito, isang Docker lang, you can create many web server. So mag-aalat ka lang ng function. Let's say anong function ito? Function IIS. So sa Docker, lalagyan mo ng Windows Server 2016. Then install mo yung function IIS. So since we would like to host 4 server, gagawa kang 4 na function. Okay? So doon mo ilalagay yung customer mo. Okay? Si Amex, si HSBC, si Westpac, si Commonwealth Bank Australia. Okay? So isang VM lang, 4 na customer. So tawag dito sa Accenture, they call this one managed service. When you say managed service, somehow like shared services. Okay? Nung unang panahon kasi, back in the old days, mga 20 years ago when I was working in Makati, yung isang router, okay, merong 10 customers sharing. So, doon na inventing shared services. Pinaganda lang, no? Another concept ng shared services, iisang server lang, pero 10 customer. So, nakakatipid ang Accenture. He only purchased siguro mga 100,000 to, pero balik naman 10, tenfold. Cha-charge yung customer niya probably 100,000. No, thinking yung customer, it's exclusive yung router sa kanila or exclusive yung server. Hindi. No? It's being shared. So that's why, after 20 years, they come up with a theory or with the concept of containerization. So Docker ang kauna-unahang nag-containerization as far as I know. Okay? Sumunod Hyper-V. And then sa AWS, meron kaming topic ng tawag is Lambda. Ang Lambda is a serverless. So this is the world heading into, no? Papuntang serverless. Tatanggalin nila yung server. Why? Kasi nga you have to pay $4,000 for the license plus magana yung engineer. I-maintain nila yung 4 server na yan. I'm not talking about the physical server, no? Virtualization pa rin. So, no? Yung VM na nasa loob ng Hyper-V. Ito. Yan, yung mga VM na yan. How do you maintain that? Matrabaho yan. As a system admin, you need to upload or update patches one by one. Installan mo one by one unless meron kang WSAS. No, then pag reboot niyan pa isa-isa, hindi pwedeng sabay-sabay, di ba? Then you have to cascade sa mga customer. You have to inform them na, sir, we need to perform maintenance ahead of time. We need to inform you na on Friday, 2 a.m., we need to shut down your server. Okay? So napakalaking trabaho noon. In fact, 60 kami sa IBM. Ayun, si Arlene nagjo-join. 60 kami active director specialist. Wala kaming ginawa kundi mag-manage ng mga group policy. Try to imagine, magkano sweldo ng mga engineer, no? So minimum sa engineer, $60 an hour. Okay? In one day, mga $500 per day. Okay? Times 60, magkano binabayaran ng IBM dito? 60 system engineer times 500 a day, $30,000 a day. Okay? Kasi we're maintaining 5,000 servers. Combination of virtual and physical. So, isang araw lang, $30,000. So, that's why, dami naming customer. So, bumabawi sila dito sa shared services concept na yan. Okay? So, with Docker, you don't have to pay a lot of maintenance. Isang server lang, okay, which the one who will maintain is called DevOps na, no? Hindi na sysad. Kasi ang DevOps, he will develop, okay, a concept to automate the operation. Kaya DevOps. Okay? DevOps is the one doing automation. So, one example of automation is PowerShell. Yung ginagawa natin. Okay? So, itong topic na to parang future-proof in your career. Okay? So, gagamitin siya for the next 2 decades or for the next 20 years. Okay? So, yung Lambda serverless na yan, matagal pa yan bago i-buy ng public. Kasi, number 1, cloud yan eh. Okay? Pag government ang account mo, they don't trust cloud. Nilalagay lang na mga simple siguro operation files. Mga ganun lang. Pero would you trust yung mga highly confidential information sa cloud? Hindi pa. Hindi pa natin ako-convince ang government. So, medyo mahirap pa sila. Siguro another 2 decades pa yan. So, as much as possible, all sensitive information will remain on-prem. Okay? Tinatawag na server inside the private data center. Okay? So, on-prem pa yan. Pero right now, they're using containerization. Okay? So, ano yung containerization? Again, encapsulation of each application. Okay? Yan ang containerization. So, you should also be aware of the following feature sa container. So, yung nano na yan, is an ideal host for both Hyper-V containers. So one way to contain an application, as I've mentioned kanina, so let's say you have 4 customer, edi gawa ka lang ng 4 nano. Di ba? Sa isang Hyper-V, may 4 servers. Kaso, problema doon, may license. Okay? So may license. So anong gagawin mo? Hindi mag-avail ka ng Docker. One license lang can contain many function. Function is Internet Information Server to host customer's website. So container concept, may tinatawag na host. So when you say host, it's a container, a physical server which contains the virtual machines. Okay? Meron namang container image. Container image shows the state of virtual container. Okay? Then may sandbox. Sandboxing is a process of testing in a test bed. No? So dito meron tong sandbox layer which you can perform testings like registry modification, then reboot, then suddenly yung outcome is blue screen, di ba? You can back out kasi test bed lang naman siya. So this is not production. Then merong container OS image. The container OS is the first layer. Ito yon. So remember, sa Docker, we need to install Windows Server. So ito yung base image. Ito yung base image. Okay? So after we install server, dun mo install ang Docker. Next, container repo. This is the folder. Na folder lang siya kung saan yung image of the Docker. Then container management tech, you can manage using PowerShell. So in fact, we're gonna be using a lot of PowerShell and meron din mga Docker commands. Containers for IT Prof. IT Prof can use container to give standardized environment. So how do you create a standard environment? Remember we created Nano, di ba? Isang script lang siya which creates a web server and can be connected to the internet. No? So that's one example. Containers for developers, when you containerize an app or when you isolate an app, only the app and the components needed to run are combined in a single image. So what do you mean by that? So ito yung example. So ito, one container, okay? So one Docker image, okay? And then one function. Anong function? Web service. Okay? Then we just duplicated the function into 4. Okay? So 4 functions siya. No? If a Windows container host is to run Hyper-V, VM nested needs to be enabled. So anong command uli sa nesting ng Windows? Anybody? How are we able to create nesting? Di ba may command tayo kanina? Paano natin naging nest? Yung VM was created from Hyper-V. Yung Hyper-V na yun was inside the virtual machine. Yung virtual machine na yun was inside Hyper-V. Diba? Yung Hyper-V na yun nasa Azure. Okay? Anong command? Expose CPU virtualization. Enable. Okay? Yun ang lalabas sa exam. Ha? Lalabas yun. Then, the container host VM, minimum 2 processor. And then, syempre, meron kang virtualization tech. Given na yan. Okay? So, supported base image 2016, Nano, pati Windows 10. Kaya yung Hyper-V container. Pero sa server container, walang feature ang Windows 10. Okay? So, ito na yung procedure. So, this is the procedure, but I created my own procedure kasi very complicated to. No? Yan yung step by step if you would like to follow. Pero, de-demo ko na sa inyo maya-maya. No? Next, sige, install muna natin yung container. Maganda kasi magawa nyo na to dahil napakahirap gawin ito. No? So, edit. So, ganun lang, no? Right-click, edit. So first, we need to napakadaming gawin. Install the Docker. Okay, let's see if we can copy the NuGet. Wala tayong NuGet, so we won't be able to run this. Um, Install na natin yung Docker. So this is the command. Install package, name of the package is Docker. Then provider is Docker Microsoft provider. Then force install. So this will take a while. Ayan, hindi nga makuha. No? So may problem siya. So edit natin security. So we need to use TLS. Okay, so ayan, TLS na siya lumabas. Okay, TLS. So we ease out the security kasi dito nakalock siya. Now security value was set to 4. It's kind of difficult to download directly from Microsoft. So we changed it to 1. Okay? So when we change, naging TLS na siya. Okay? TLS, ito yung normal way to download files from the internet. Normal encryption. So irararan ko ulit. So we ease out the restriction. Ayaw pa rin. Okay. Hirap naman gumagawin nito. Ano ba ginawa ko dito? Nag-nugget pa ba ako? Wala kasi akong nugget eh. So I'm gonna update my commandlet. Yan. So this will take a while. Kaya nakita nyo, updating help for module. Kasi hindi niya ma-recognize yung Docker command. Yung mga Docker Microsoft provider. So that will take a while. Iwanan na lang natin. Next one, how do you manage the container? So ito naman, pag-manage na. So theory na lang natin kasi hindi talaga mahirap paggawin eh, no? So once you install the Docker Microsoft provider, you can type this command. So Docker space run -IT. Okay, so meaning run container name test IT and instruct Docker to allocate a sudo telnet connection. So you can telnet dito. No? Then Docker PowerShell display a list of running containers on the host. So pag tinype mo yan, it will display how many servers have you created. You have created. Okay. Docker start will start this container. So container name is in a hexadecimal format. Docker stop and the name of the Docker, it will stop the container. No? Docker attach, it will connect to a session. Okay, attach ko connect nun. Docker commit, it will create a new image. Docker RM will delete this container. Okay, ganun lang siya. No? Sa PowerShell naman, get container, it will display the list of images you have downloaded. No? Balikan ko
Sir,
lang.
question
Still
po.
downloading. Yes, sir.
Yung container name po dyan, ano po yan? Example lang? O may
Oo.
iba yung pagka yung sa kami na yung gumawa, may iba yung container?
Yes. So Docker will be the one to allocate the name. Siya mag-allocate using this serial number.
Thank you po.
Siya gagawa nun. And then, remember we did enter PS session? So dito, ang equivalent is enter container session and the name of the container. Okay? If you want to convert container, no, convert container to container name. So the master image will be converted into a new image. So may copy ka. Okay? You're creating copy. And remove container will delete this container. So ganun lang siya. So how does container network operates? So meron kang network card. So this is one container. Windows Server against Docker. No? So sa container, meron kang compartment which contains the container. And then meron kang physical network card na naging internal. So that's why naging VNIC. Yung VNIC na yun, nakakonect either externally, private to private, or internally. Alam niyo na internal, di ba? and then connect to another host. So that's why this can become host-to-host communication, as you can see. Diba? Okay, so host-to-host communication. So ganun lang yung concept niya. So if you'd like to stop Docker, stop service Docker. So kung may web server yun, magda-down lahat yun. No? Down lahat. Yeah. If you would like to run volume, check volume. So Docker run no IT sa container na IT. Check the volume of drive C, which contains the container image. So ito yung image niya, Microsoft Windows Server Core. So that's one container ng Windows naman, hindi Docker. No? Okay, and so many more. Napakadami. HA. Okay? So I'm gonna go back to image. I'm hoping na pwede na itong tumakbo kasi hindi pa siya nagra-run. We're easing out the restriction. So TLS, ayan. So I think I need to reboot. So reboot ko muna itong server ko. Then tuloy natin yung container ulit.
Sir, question po ulit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Di ba kasi pagka nagta-type kayo ng commands, ng syntax, ano yan?